welcome back to my channel. Today I have got a super scary Halloween makeup tutorial for you guys. I've incorporated kind of like my glam makeup with this super gory special effects kind of zombie girl look. I absolutely love the way that this super gory look turned out. I absolutely love creating special effects makeup. If you do enjoy watching this video, then please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up so I know you guys enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe to my channel before you leave so you don't miss out on any of my future special effects makeup tutorials. So if you guys want to know how to recreate this zombie girl makeup tutorial, then please keep on watching. Okay, so to start this tutorial, I've already prepped my skin with some Benefit Professional Primer. I've then gone over the top and used the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. Now for this Halloween tutorial, I do want my skin to be really kind of flawless and give me a really nice base to work on top of. If you wanted to go for more of like a gory, like super kind of more realistic version, then you can just go for like no foundation and just go over the top of your natural skin. But for today, I wanted to kind of stick to the glam makeup and then just kind of add the kind of zombiness to it over the top. So I started off with the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. I've then set that in place with my RCMA No Colour Powder just to kind of set it in place and give us a really nice kind of base to work on top of. I've then started my eyeshadow. Now I've just used two colours from the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette. Now this palette is really good for this look because it's got loads of different cool tones and they're all completely matte as well, so it's going to look a lot more realistic on the skin. So I've kind of gone in with these two greys here, mixed them together and applied it kind of all into my crease. And I've also, as you can see, filled in my eyebrows just because I always like to fill in my brows and I just don't feel done without them. So I wanted it to be kind of like me kind of glammed up, and then kind of like had a really big gash on my forehead from like a zombie or something, and then it's kind of turned me into a zombie. Right, so for the kind of eyes, I'm going to be working from the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette as I mentioned earlier, and I'm also going to be working from the Morphe 35P palette, which is a really kind of cool toned purple palette, which I'm going to use for kind of like hollowing out my eyes. So the first thing I'm going to use is the Kat Von D palette, and I'm just going to start off by taking a mixture of these two kind of cool tones here. I'm just going to mix those together. So I've just mixed together those two cool tones there, and I'm going to start kind of adding it right into the inner corner of the eye and kind of following the natural shadow of our eyes, which is normally kind of this area here. So I'm just going to start by really lightly applying some of these cool tone shades. Now, with any kind of zombie or kind of dead girl look, you want to really kind of focus on hollowing out your features, just kind of so you're look like the living dead basically. So I'm kind of softly going in with this brush, and it is quite a fluffy brush I'm using. I'm just going to keep going in with those two, adding some product, tapping off the excess and kind of going in. I'm keeping the darkness under here, like right in the kind of bit where your orbital bone is, and I'm kind of focusing it there and kind of blending upwards and kind of dragging it down as well. In between each step, I am going to go in with a fluffy brush and just kind of blend the edges. If you do go and look at reference pictures online, I've looked up some from like The Walking Dead, things like that. I've kind of gone online, had a little look at some reference pictures, and I'm going to kind of make it my own. So like I said, I'm kind of putting the glam twist of still having my brows and everything done, but I'm just going to go in and really kind of zombify everything. I'm now going to go in with the Morphe 35P palette. This is an absolutely gorgeous purple palette, and it's got some really nice cool tones, and I'm going to go in with a mixture of these kind of mauvey tones here, mixed with kind of some of the cooler tone grey colours, and I'm going to use that again underneath my eyes, because when we get darkness underneath the eyes, it does tend to go a little bit more of like a purpley tone. So I'm going to mix those together and apply that. A mixture of these two at first. And I'm just applying that directly where we applied the other colour, but kind of a little bit lower down, and kind of smudging it right underneath my lower lash line. I'm then going to apply the same two shades onto my top lash line. Okay, so I'm now going to go in with this kind of cool tone, really super deep matte kind of grey toned purple colour, and I'm going to use this on more of a kind of slanted angle brush, and I'm going to use this in the inner corners of my eyes and kind of right in there. It almost makes our eyes look a little bit kind of puffy looking. That's what you want to go for. I'm then going to go in with that same kind of dark purple, and I'm going to run it right underneath the lower lash line. And don't worry about being too precise with this Halloween look, because at the end of the day you're a dead zombie girl, so to be honest you're not going to be looking your best. I'm now going in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette, and I'm going back in with these two shades here. And what I'm going to do is go in and kind of almost give myself like a nose contour. I'm now going to go in with this brush and go in with that lighter tone here from the Kat Von D palette, and I'm going to use this kind of around the corners of my nose. And what you want to do is really emphasise all of your features. I'm kind of going in a little C shape there. I'm now just going to go in with a blending brush, and I'm going to use this matte black shade here from the Kat Von D palette. Now this is a really lovely pigmented black, so I'm going to use this in the hollow of the eye and take it all the way through the socket. And this is just going to add even more depth to the eye, so it's all about kind of layering the shades up. I'm then also going to take that and apply it underneath my lower lash line. And I'm also now going to take that light cool tone colour there, the grey, on my blending brush, and I'm going to use it kind of down the smile lines, again just to hollow out the features further. Now I'm going to go in with my Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and the reason that I'm using this palette is because it has really good kind of warm tone red shades, which makes the eyes look super irritated and kind of sore looking. So I'm going to use a mixture between Love Letter and Veterinarian Red, which are these two shades right here, and just take some of that red tone, and I'm just applying that to the lid, and I'm also going to apply some under the eyes. Now I'm just going to go back in with the black and make sure the inner corners of our eyes are super dark. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and contour and hollow out my cheekbones, and today I'm going to use the Makeup Geek Contour Powder, and this is in the shade Infidelity, which is a super cool toned contouring powder. And I'm going to really go in and heavily contour out my cheekbones. Again, this is just going to make us look a lot more kind of sunken in. I'm also going in with that powder underneath my chin, and I'm also going to use it to carve out my jawline. I'm going to take the pointed side of my contour brush, and I'm going to take my contour a lot further down than I usually would. So when I look straight forward, as you can see, the contour is kind of hollowing out my cheekbones. I'm now going to go in with my Soap and Glory Smolder Kohl eye pencil, which is a black kohl pencil, and I'm going to use this in my tight line, and I'm also going to use it in my waterline as well, and this again is just going to really help define the eyes. I'm now going to go in and apply a coat of my mascara, just because I want to, and I think it helps define my eyes a little bit more. And because I was this look that I'm going for is kind of me turning into a zombie, I think that it's essential, and it's really just going to make our features pop. So this is optional, you don't have to do this step, but I'm just going to go in and apply my Estee Lauder Double Wear Zero Smudge Lengthening Mascara on my upper and my lower lashes. Now for lips today, I'm going to go in with a liquid lipstick from Jeffree Star. This is the shade Posh Spice, but any kind of dark grey toned liquid lipstick will do. I do want this lip to be quite matte as opposed to like a glossy lip, so I'm going to go in with a liquid lipstick. I'm going to apply this as I normally would. Now looking at it, I wanted this lip to be a little bit darker, so I'm now going to go in with the shade Soul from Coloured Rain, which is a really kind of dark purpley grey. This lipstick, as you can see, has just made the whole look kind of brought together, and it's really kind of made us look even more dead. So I'm just going to wait for this to dry, and I'm then going to go in with some black eyeshadow. I'm going to go back in with the brush, and I'm going to take a mixture of the matte black eyeshadow and this dark grey one here, mostly the black though, and I'm going to use this in the inside of my lip. And this is going to make our lips look a lot more kind of sunken in and kind of add a bit more dimension. So I've just added the black eyeshadow into the inner parts of my lips. Now you could definitely just leave this look here if you wanted to, but I'm going to go in and really kind of gore it up and add some really kind of gory bits to it. So I'm going to go in and add a cut to the top of my forehead, and I'm also going to add some kind of like blistering around there as well, just so that's going to be like the area that kind of made me turn. So yeah, I'm going to go in, zoom you guys in, and then we're going to do the cut on the forehead. First product I'm going to use for the cut is this specialFX wax, which is basically like, I used to use the Ben Nye ear, nose and scar wax, but I just picked this one up because I wanted to make this quite easily accessible for you guys to go out and actually get the products and recreate this yourself, as opposed to kind of using products which you're not going to be able to get your hands on. So this is the Snazaroo specialFX wax. It's quite similar to the Ben Nye. I do prefer the Ben Nye one because it is more skin toned. This one is more of like a clear wax, and I've just taken out some of this product and I'm kind of warming it in between my fingertips. This just makes it a little bit more easy for you to kind of mould and apply it to the skin. And I'm just kind of moulding it into a kind of long sausage shape like this. And then all you want to do is see the area that you want to apply it to. So like I said earlier, I want to apply mine to my forehead. Now this is the fiddly part, so I'm now going to go in with a little kind of spatula. Take my little spatula, and what I'm going to do is kind of blend down the edges onto my natural skin. So as you can see here, I'm just slowly going around the edges and just popping it down. Now in between, the wax will stick to your spatula, so I just get like a baby wipe or a face wipe and just go in and wipe it in between. So I'm just pushing down the edges. So I've just blended those edges out. I'm now going to go in and set that down with my RCMA powder. Now what this is going to do, it's going to take away all that tackiness, because at the moment it is like a glue-like consistency, and if you go in and try and make the cut in the middle now, it's just going to stick straight to your spatula and it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is take some RCMA powder, and I'm just going to use this on a kind of sponge like this. And I'm really going to pack this on over the top. Now this RCMA powder is completely translucent, so it's not going to add any additional colour. And now what I'm going to do is take my MAC Studio Fix powder foundation in the same shade that I used all over my face, and I'm actually just going to use this to dust away any excess translucent powder. Now I'm going to go back in with our little spatula that we were using. Now if you don't have one of these, then you can just use like a bobby pin or anything like that. I'm now going to go in with the kind of slightly more kind of pointed end, and I'm actually going to just pop it into my powder first just to make it not so sticky. And I'm going to go in and create a dent. So I'm going to go straight in the middle of that wax and just start pushing it down. Now that's going to create the illusion of our cut, so I'm taking it all the way down. I'm now going to go in with my MAC Studio Fix powder again on this kind of flat brush, and I'm going to kind of coat my brush in the powder, and I'm then going to go in and cover this wax with our face powder. I'm thinking I'm going to create a bruise up the top here, and I'm also going to create a little bit of like a peeling away skin, almost like a blister type thing, like underneath the cut. So I'm going to do that first. So for that I'm going to use liquid latex. Now this is the liquid latex that I use. This is just one that I picked up from my local costume shop. Again, I get it all from places where you guys can get it hold of from, so just pick up any liquid latex. You can get this online as well. So yeah, this is the one that I'm using today. So with that, I'm going to pop it onto a little metal tray. I'm then going to dip our sponge into this. Now, don't use your favourite makeup brushes with liquid latex, because it will absolutely ruin them. Also, it will ruin all of your sponges as well. So I'm just going to go in with this and apply a patch like so. And what this is going to do, it's going to create more texture. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go in with some eyeshadows. Now this is my personalised Makeup Geek shadow palette, which I've just popped in individual Makeup Geek shadows. Use any shades which are similar to this, but I'm going to tell you which ones I'm going to use. I'm going to mix together a mixture between Bitten, Morocco and Cocoa Bear. And I'm just going to use some of these again on that little kind of flat brush. First I'm going in with the shade Bitten, which is almost like a cranberry tone. And I'm going to use this through the centre. As you can see, what I'm doing is I've just poked a little hole in the latex there, and I'm just starting to kind of bring it apart and kind of stick it to other parts of the latex. As you can see, I've just done it there. Be really careful with this though, guys, and use it with a blunt tool. So I'm just kind of making a really quite big cut there. Again, I'm going in with Bitten, Morocco and Cocoa Bear, and I'm just going to start popping that in the centre of the little hole that we've poked in there. I'm then going to take a mixture of those two grey colours and apply that on the edges. I'm then going in with that matte black eyeshadow, and I'm going into the centre of our cut. I'm now going to go and move on to our bruise, and I'm going to use a mixture of Desert Sands and Chickadee first from my Makeup Geek palette, which are these two colours here. And now if you look up images of bruises, normally they've got like almost like a greeny yellow tinge around the outer corner, and then kind of in the centre they've got almost like that kind of reddy kind of purpley bruise colour. So that's what I'm going to mimic with this. So first I'm going to take the purple Bitten colour from Makeup Geek and apply that kind of in the centre there. I'm then going to go in with a mixture of Chickadee and Desert Sands and apply that around the edge of where we've applied that dark colour, and just blend it in with your finger. I'm then just going to go in and keep shading around the edges of our cuts and our little bruise there. Now I'm going to go in with some blood. Now this is where it gets really fun. I'm going to go in with this Bloody Scab, which is this kind of more thick, kind of dense dark blood. This is going to create the illusion of like thick kind of clumped together, kind of almost like clots of blood, like really gloopy on the forehead, and really kind of create some kind of different textures. And that's what it's about when you're creating different FX looks. So we're not just going to go in with blood, we're going to go in with this thick blood as well. And I'm going to add this to the top part of my cut here. And I'm also going to add this into the little kind of hole that we've got poked there. Now what I'm going to do is go around all of the edges, and I'm just going to go in and kind of dab that blood on. I'm then going to take some cotton buds and just kind of blend out the edges. Okay, as you can see, I've just applied the thick blood here on the cut, and I'm just now going in with all of those different kind of warm toned bruise colours, and I'm just kind of packing it on with a little brush. Now this is something that I did completely on a whim when I was practicing one day. I mixed together my MAC lip conditioner, which is a completely clear balm, and I popped a little bit of that onto the back of my hand. I only use literally that much, it's not a lot at all really, you don't need a lot of this. And I mixed together a combination of Chickadee and Desert Sands, mostly the bottom colour here, which is Chickadee. I just kind of put a little Q-tip into this to pick up some of that shadow. And then what I've done is just mixed it on the back of my hand with that MAC lip conditioner. You can use any clear lip balm for this. Now what we're doing here is creating almost like a pus-like consistency, which is ever so attractive, but we're using this to create a little bit more of like a dimension to the cut and add some more textures in, almost like so it's almost weeping. So I'm going to use this on my little cotton bud, and I'm going to apply this around kind of like the top parts of the cut here, and this just creates like a really kind of lifelike realistic look to this cut. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit more. And I'm now going to go in with my blood. Now today I'm going to use the Vampire Blood. I'm then going to take a small little detailer brush. I'm just going to pick up some of that blood on my brush, and I'm going to apply this directly into the center of the wound. And with that, I want to create almost like a dripped effect. But I'm going to let it drip and then kind of stop it. Okay, so that's the cut done. I'm now going to go in with again the Kat Von D palette, and I'm going to mix together these two shades here, and I'm going to use it on this Real Techniques fine liner brush, and I'm going to mix those together, and I'm going to create some little veins, kind of connecting them all together. I'm then taking my finger and kind of blending them out so they kind of blend into my skin. My blood on my little palette here, and I'm going to apply this around my mouth area. And I'm mostly going to apply this to kind of the corners of my lip. And this is just going to create the illusion that we have eaten someone. I'm going to go back in with that scab blood, and I'm going to use that on the outer part of my lip here. Okay, so that is this look complete. So I hope you enjoyed watching me create this super scary Abby turned into a zombie look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, something a little bit different from my channel, and I hope you guys have a really happy Halloween. I hope you enjoyed watching this scary tutorial, and I will see you next Friday at 8 PM in my normal glam video. Bye guys!